Welcome, Carla, to the Sway Health Show. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here. Thanks for the invitation.
So, I'm so excited for you to be here because we are going to talk a little bit about Broward Health and your social media journey. So, recently, Broward Health was the winner of the 2024 Sway.Health Award for Best Social Media. So we wanted to get someone from Broward on video so we could kind of just talk through everything that you guys have been doing and your journey thus far. As we know, a lot of people within the social or the Sway community rely on social media. That's where kind of a lot of people meet and talk about, and obviously in the healthcare marketing world as well, social media is huge. So we're so happy to have you on the show. Maybe we'll start off. Can you just tell us a little bit about yourself and your role at Broward Health, and talk to us about the journey that Broward Health has kind of gone through when it comes to social media?
Sure. So I am the social media manager here at Broward Health, and I help manage all of our social media pages for the system. I think social media was launched here at Broward Health in 2009, and it's always been our priority to share relevant and helpful information with the community to help showcase the assistance that we can provide to them, and also just offer ongoing support to them. So as social media has evolved, so has our strategies. And when I came to Broward Health, my first priority was really to integrate short form content into our strategies ongoing.
Awesome. And so, you talk about kind of coming on board and those specific goals of getting short form content into the social journey or into the social media at Broward Health. Was there any specific goals that you set coming on board, or, how are you measuring the success of, those new things that you were implementing?
Great. So when I started here, my biggest focus was really to actively engage with our community and to raise awareness about Broward Health. And the way I measured that was to look at our growth and our engagement for the content that we were posting and getting out there. And I started here in 2021, so it's been 3 years. And so far, our growth has increased by 43%, and our engagement rate. So our average across all of our channels was at 4.9%, and today we're at about a 7.11 average engagement rate for all of our channels. So we definitely look at our data all the time to see how we can optimize our efforts and try to improve our outcomes as best as we can.
That's amazing. And as I mentioned, you guys were the winner of the Sway.Health Award for Best Social Media. And one of the things in the nominations that really stood out to the folks who were nominating you was the Then Now Forever campaign that Broward Health did. Can you talk to us a little bit about that, and what made that campaign so successful, and why do you think it stood out to so many folks?
Great. That was a fun campaign. It was great because I had just started here. I think I'd been here for about a year, and it really helped me realize how much history we have here in Broward County. So Broward Health was the first hospital created here in Broward County in 1938. And our history is really rich, but we realized that our community wasn't really aware of everything that we've done in the past. And my goal was not only to highlight that legacy, but also to let the community know that we've always been innovative and will continue to do that. And also that our patients have always been our priority, and they're going to continue to be our priority. So we really worked at getting some social content that would really get us connected to our community, and also help let them know about all of this history that we have. So some of the content we shared was historical facts, and we highlight some of the employees that have been here long term, just to showcase how deeply rooted we have been in the community all along. And we also celebrated with our community. We try to bring them into the celebration with us, and some of the content featured even our youngest members of the community, our newborns. So We had some onesies made with the Broward Health 85th anniversary logo, and we highlighted the first babies born that year, and it was such a sweet way to kick off the celebration.
Oh,
Other
I
ways
love
that
that.
we
Who doesn't
celebrated,
love newborn
I know,
baby pictures, right? Like,
babies and puppies always.
right.
But yeah, it was a great way to start our celebration that year. And another way we incorporated the community was that we highlighted our companies. We had local companies and buildings that lit up their buildings blue. Even the Hard
Mm,
Rock Guitar and Casino lit the guitar up in blue, and it was so neat to drive by that at night and see that they were lit up blue just in honor of our 85th anniversary. So it was really cool to see the community come together for this celebration. And like that, we live streamed like our Broward Health Days event, where we had participation with local government and community
mm.
partners. And, you know, a lot of the time our community can't make it to these type of events. So we were hoping we can help get that event out to them. And along with that, a lot of short form content went out as well.
That's great. And you kind of touched on a little bit about the local folks being integrated and being part of that campaign. And one of the things in the nominations that was highlighted was the importance of your collaboration with local universities in order to kind of bring academic medicine to Broward community or the Broward Health community, and sorry, Broward Health County. Can you elaborate a little bit on the importance that Broward Health puts on that, and as well as kind of other local companies and local organizations?
Yeah, so I mean, academic medical centers have always been at the forefront of research and innovation. So, with academic medical centers, you do tend to have a higher standard of care because of the teaching and the research that goes on. So, patients also have that opportunity to get the latest in medical advancements and treatment options. So we were very excited when Florida Atlantic University and Broward Health announced a partnership agreement. And that's going to help bring the Academic Medical Center to Broward County and also provide, opportunities to collaborate with education, research, clinical training, and teaching and practice and all that. So we're very excited about that.
Awesome. Now, all of our listeners definitely love to know kind of what type of short form content you are using and what has worked. But, before we kind of get into that, maybe you can talk to us a little bit more about some of the other campaigns that you have seen that have either, become buzzworthy, have gone viral, or that you've seen a lot of engagement with within your community.
I think one of my favorite campaigns that can talk to this is the No Two Hearts campaign. This campaign was one of my favorites because we had an opportunity to work with an artist. Her name's Emma Shin, and this was through the help of our agency Merge. And we were able to showcase these beautiful hearts. She works with tactile materials, so she created these hearts, and they were beautiful. We were able to showcase that, and it helped put into visuals that no two hearts are the same. And the idea behind that concept is really no matter what case or situation you're in, we have that custom cardiac care that you need. So it was wonderful to put that into visuals. She had several different hearts that looked very unique and different. And this campaign, we included testimonials. And my goal was to show that individual story through short form content and really capture people's unique stories. So I asked our patients that were part of these testimonials, I asked them, what is it that you were most excited to get back to after you received your custom cardiac help or care from us? And their responses were great. And it really showed how unique their stories were, whether it was a mom, a musician, or even just somebody simply trying to live their best life. So it really helped convey that human story in a very bite-sized way. And it was also a very engaging way because we use TikTok and Reels, which is where everybody is these days. So so it was
For
really
sure.
nice to see.
And I'm glad you touched on that because, I think a lot of listeners are, where is the audience and what is working? And I heard recently, you don't have to be everywhere, but just be kind of where your audience is engaging. So do you find that your audience is on Instagram, is on TikTok, are kind of sharing and consuming those reels?
Yeah, so the data that we got from this organic component for the campaign actually revealed a lot to us. And one of the things that we learned from this was that our audience really really preferred getting content that was tailored specifically for these platforms and not just a repurpose of standard content into vertical format. So we were careful with paying attention to the time constraints for, that's inherent in short form content, and also wanted to make sure that the story was authentic and it was representative of the patients that were being featured. So it showed us a lot. I mean, the engagement we received, and this is just organic engagement. We purposely did not put money behind this initiative because we wanted to see really how well it did organically. Our engagement surged by 855% more than it was in the past campaigns. And we did this again in another campaign for beat cancer. It was an oncology campaign, and we did the same tactics. We got, it wasn't similar content, but it was done in the same way that we featured our patients and did content that was specifically tailored for these platforms. And it also saw a surge of 852% increase in organic content alone. So we just learned a lot from that. And we realized, we can't just repurpose our other content alone. We have to add this human component. So it really helped us see that. And I love when data opens your eyes to things like this.
Definitely. And I love how you said that, you can't just repurpose for different platforms because I think, we're all getting smart enough on social media platforms where you can see when you kind of just, repurposed it and there's no kind of authenticity behind it or meaning behind it. So to be able to look at the data, understand who's engaging where or who's engaging with what, and then being able to kind of tailor made for those specific platforms, I think is such a great approach.
Agreed.
So tell me a little bit, or can we talk a little bit about how you engage with your audience on social media? What are some of the techniques that you have found to be, the most effective in building and maintaining a strong community with your patients and the broader kind of Broward County community?
Sure. So I think for us, I enjoy posting questions and asking community to, reply in the comments with their favorite pet photos. And one time I think we asked them, it was dress your pet up day, and people posted their pets in t-shirts and things like that. So it was really cute. Those things are always great. And just recently we have our ongoing rebrand campaign right now. And we hosted a story post, Ask Us Anything story post.
Mm.
And our president and CEO, Shane Strum, took the time to actually record videos and answer each one of these questions from the community. And it was just such a personal touch. And I'm sure they felt like we cared, and we were able to address their concerns. And not only did we find out what the concerns were, but we were also able to answer them right away in a very personal way.
That's amazing. I think, I hear, in the community, a lot of executives don't want to kind of get out there and put themselves out there. But I think what we do see is when they actually do agree and get out there, it allows that personal touch or even just a little sneak peek into, someone who you might not necessarily, have a conversation with or see or talk to on a regular basis. So allowing that engagement really, I think, builds trust and builds a relationship with your following and with the community.
Yeah, we certainly want to do more of this. So it was a great result. And I just thought, if I were that person asking the question, I'd feel great that the CEO took the time to respond to me. So it was
Exactly.
great.
Oh, I love that. So we kind of talk about all these successes and some of the stuff that you've seen in your social media journey, but maybe you could talk to me a little bit about some of the challenges that you have faced maybe over the last couple of years since you've been there, and how you've kind of either overcome from them or learn from them that you can kind of share with the community. Because as you know, we all kind of face similar problems at the end of the
Yes.
day. So if
Yes.
there's anything that you can share, I feel that would be great for our listeners.
Yeah, I think for me, and probably for everybody who manages social media, especially in the healthcare industry, one of the biggest challenges is getting falsely accused about something
Mm.
and not, having to deal with the constraints of federal regulations. You sometimes can't defend yourself, right? So um, I think for me, these challenges have grown to be my favorite because you have to have a high way. it like involves creativity in order to really try to find resolution for these situations. They're very sensitive. So um, I think although they're very challenging, if you have great mentorship, you're in a better place for success. And I've had the privilege of working with some great mentors throughout my career. And even here, our current VP of Marketing and Communications, Jennifer Smith, fosters that teamwork atmosphere here. And we both sit down and look at these situations and work together to find some effective and ethically correct ways of finding resolutions to these very sensitive situations. I think for sure the key to success with these is having that mentorship and having great leadership next to you when you're dealing with these situations. And our priority is always patient privacy. So you just have to be really careful with how you respond to these. And I feel like I learn something new every time I deal with something like this. So those are definitely my favorite. And I have to say also, the biggest thing for me is having a supportive team as well. I know I mentioned leadership, but I'm part of the digital team, and they're always very ready to, drop everything and monitor or look into something if something's happening. While I work with Jen Smith and sometimes legal and compliance to get something that we need in order to address the situation, and that goes even further than just these type of challenges. I mean, the whole marketing communications team here really does help with social media all the time. So if somebody's at the hospital and they see something, they'll grab a photo and say, "Hey, Carla, I think this would be great for social," or they'll share stories or involve me in conversations. If it's a bigger project, that will definitely touch social. So I think the biggest takeaway for me is the amazing leadership and a supportive team, and that can help you get through any situation, really.
You know what? A collaborative and I guess crafty in these certain situations team
Yes.
really does go a long way, right?
Yes, certainly.
So you kind of touched a little bit about your team, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about your award wins. So as I mentioned a couple
Yeah.
times, the Broward Health team won the Sway Health Award for Best Social Media. Um, can you talk to us a little bit about, you know, how you felt when you won? Did you know that you were winning? What it means for you and your team to kind of win an award like this?
Yes, I mean, this award was incredibly meaningful for me. In social media, this it's like an ever evolving world, and when you have a social media manager that says they know everything, immediately a red flag goes up, right? Because I feel like the trends change so often. Once you catch up to one, there's another one you have to run and catch up to. So I've managed social for 16 years for organizations and businesses, and you can tell that this landscape just it's always changing. It's constantly changing. So you have to be willing to strat- strategically plan everything when you're working with a big organization. So there's a lot of strategic planning, and you have to be willing to try things and experiment with things and have fun sometimes. And we truly have fun with our content here, and we try to push the needle. And we're lucky that we work for a healthcare system that's not afraid to try new things and shake things up. So when you win an award like this, it really makes us feel, and it kind of validates that we're on the right path. And it really inspires us and keeps us motivated to keep trying new things and really push those boundaries. So it was great. And attending this conference was great because you meet other people from other hospitals who are also doing amazing things. I mean, I heard so many great stories there. So a lot of people are doing amazing things, and it gave us the opportunity to network with them and get to know them. And it was just a wonderful experience. And I'm grateful for the opportunity.
That's lovely. We love hearing that, and we also loved having you, and we hope to see you guys again next year as well. So we're going to wrap up here, but if we can kind of just end on, what can we expect next from Broward Health? Anything, any little tidbits you can share with us?
Yeah, so I mean, we're always looking at what new technology is out there that we can incorporate into our strategies, and we're always looking to shake things up and push the boundaries a little more. And sometimes we're not afraid of what other people might shy away from when it comes to innovative things. So I'm sure you'll see a lot more from us. I'm not sure exactly what yet, but we're always looking at ways in which we can really push the needle and get things going. So I'm excited. There are a couple projects we're working on that we'll be sharing soon, and I think they'll be great. So I'm hoping they'll be great. We're working hard on them. So
I bet. Well, we will keep a close eye out for those. Carla, I appreciate you being here and taking the time out of your busy day to be here with us and kind of talk through your journey. I'm sure everybody else loves hearing kind of what other folks are doing, and that's all what the Sway community is about, is sharing those experiences and really trying to hone in on how we can kind of share amongst our members. So I really appreciate you taking the time, and I'm sure I will talk to you soon.
Thank you so much. Thank you.